everybody. Happy Thursday. Hope you're having a great week. Welcome to another Live at 5. Thanks for tuning in with us again tonight as we look at Titus Chapter 2. We're not going to read through Chapter 2 tonight. I want to encourage you to do that on your own. But as we dive into Chapter 2, we're just going to keep it real simple. And I have a question that I want to ask. And that question is this: do you make Jesus attractive? Do you make Jesus attractive? I believe that is the question or the underlying theme of what Paul is getting at here in chapter 2 of Titus. As you read through chapter 2, you'll notice that what Paul does here is he kind of lays out directions for godly living for various groups of people: young women, young men, old women, old men, even down to slaves. He lays out, these are the things that your life should look like. And he mentions things like self-control, faithfulness, dignity, respect, and love. And he takes chapter 2 and lays out for us, as you go throughout your life, as you interact with your world and your community, this is how your life should look, and this is what it should look like. And as I read through this and as I studied, kind of the thing that Paul's getting at here is this idea that the gospel must prove its redemptive power in the public eye. Let me say that again. The gospel must prove its redemptive power in the public eye. Now, don't hear what I'm not saying, okay? I'm not saying that God needs to prove anything to anyone. Paul's not saying that God needs to justify his actions or he needs to prove something why he does what he does. But what Paul's saying here is that the gospel message, the redemptive work of Jesus Christ in our lives must prove itself in the eyes of the world in which we live. That if you call yourself a believer, if you call yourself a follower of Christ, that you must live by a new value system. That the things that you do, the things that you say, must be different than the world in which you live. This value system must be a system rooted in grace. It must be a system that anticipates the hope of eternal life. And so what Paul's laying out for us here in chapter 2 of Titus is, again, this question: do you make Jesus attractive? In other words, does the way that you live make people want to be a part of what you have? The way you treat those around you, the way you interact with your coworkers, the way you conduct yourself in the grocery store, the things you post on social media, the conversations you have over a cup of coffee. When people look at the life that you live, do they ask the question, what is different about them? And then do they ask the follow-up question, how do I get what they have? You know, I'm going to wrap up here with taking a look at verse 14 of chapter 2, and it says, he, being Jesus, gave his life to free us from every kind of sin, to cleanse us and to make us his very own people, totally committed to doing good deeds. And so, church, I want to close the same way that we began and just ask the question: do you make Jesus attractive? When people look at the life that you live, the way that you conduct yourself, the things that you say, the stuff that you do, is it evident to them that you are filled with those characteristics: self-control, faithfulness, dignity, respect, and love? Is it evident to them that you have a hope and a joy inside of you that can only come because you have been redeemed and restored by Jesus Christ, by his death on the cross? Or do they look at you and see no difference from the way that the world lives? As believers of Christ, as those who have been redeemed and restored by the work on the cross, we are called to make Jesus attractive. Thanks for tuning in with us again tonight. We hope you have a great week. Join in with us again tomorrow night as we finish out the book of Titus. Thanks.